Good morning, and welcome to NATEFLIX, your home for movies on the radio. I'm your host, Nate Hensley, movie reviewer, columnist, critic for GoVideoGainesville.com.
Patrick Daniel, co-owner of Go Video Movie Rental Store, aspiring filmmaker in Gainesville, Florida.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I'd like to tell you about some of the great new movies that are going to be available on Tuesday this week at Go Video. First and foremost is Killer Elite, a new action movie with the heavy-hitting cast of Jason Statham, Clive Owen, and Robert De Niro. This stylish, gritty action movie pits special forces officers, the Killer Elite, against each other. Robert De Niro, the mentor, being held hostage. Statham has to execute a series of daring assassinations to rescue his mentor. Clive Owen is trying to stop him. You'd think that this would make Clive Owen the good guy, but it doesn't. Clive Owen is the bad guy, and you can tell by his mustache. Whenever Clive Owen is wearing a mustache, he is a jerk. Also this week, Moneyball, the highly acclaimed, critically lauded, and award-nominated drama starring Brad Pitt.
Jonah Hill also decided to try his hand at drama. He's mostly known for being the fat, foul kid in Superbad.
Recently, he's become known as the guy that used to be fat, and look how incredibly skinny he got in 2 weeks.
I like to think of this movie as the last Jonah Hill movie, because we'll only be seeing half of him probably in every film to come. And it's a sad thing. And what's interesting is he's actually, has a posthumous nomination at the Golden Globes.
Yes, he does.
So to speak. He's nominated for his role as a supporting actor in Moneyball. Philip Seymour Hoffman is also nominated. Oh, no, he's not nominated for this role, but this is his second movie that he's in this year that is got lots of acclaim, lots of award nominations. He's also in the Ides of March. The director of Moneyball is a guy named Bennett Miller. He was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Director for his movie Capote, which he directed Philip Seymour Hoffman to his first Oscar. So I'm glad to see that the two of them are working together again. The movie did have a really good cast. Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, both did very good. I like the premise of the film.
It's sharp, it's fun, it's engaging. As you said, the cast is phenomenal, and Brad Pitt just has that movie star charm. He makes the movie work. What's
interesting about his role in this one, to me, was that he was the underdog. I was surprised to not see Matthew McConaughey or some traditional sports macho actor who plays an ex-athlete. To be the underdog guy and take it to the end. But Brad Pitt, he usually plays the smooth, cool guy.
Right.
He's always got everything together. He always knows the score. So this was a little bit of a different role for him. I thought he was pretty good and to some degree deserves his nomination, but I don't think he was any better than, say, George Clooney in The Descendants this year, and they may just cancel each other out for as Oscar contenders, but we'll talk about that a little bit later when we go to the Golden Globe segment. What did you think of Moneyball, Nate?
I thought it was a great movie. Although they're about very different things. Another recent release called Warrior was sort of the same thing, in that they're sports movies. And when you get right down to it, all sports movies essentially follow the same pattern. Moneyball broke that pattern. It was different in a couple of key ways, and that I really liked about it. It was a good drama. It had enough humor to keep me involved. I don't know if it would make my top 10 list of the year, but it would be close.
One of the things I really liked about it was that it seemed that you didn't have to know a lot about baseball in order to really like this movie. And there were even scenes where people were talking about baseball players or nothing but baseball, and it was a very dramatic scene. And I had no idea what was going on, but I was enthralled. Yeah, it was very good.
Well, you know what? It was the similar example would be The Social Network. I don't speak tech gibberish any more than I speak baseball. I just don't know. A well-shot, well-written film is going to get you involved with the subject matter, no matter what that subject matter is. I stay intentionally ignorant of baseball. I find baseball boring to actually watch, but this movie, a movie about baseball, was fascinating.
I imagine this movie would be even better if you knew a lot about baseball.
I think it probably would.
It's interesting you brought up Social Network. The screenwriter of Moneyball is Aaron Sorkin, who also penned the script for The Social Network. Both true stories. Brad Pitt plays a guy named Billy Bean, who is a former baseball player. Things didn't work out for him. And he's the general manager of the Oakland A's, and he tries to take the team to...
That's definitely Sorkin in his comfort zone.
Yeah. He's also famous for doing The West Wing, which was a very highly acclaimed TV show for a long time. I think he's got a good future ahead of him. He won an Oscar for his screenplay in The Social Network. Bennett Miller, look out for his next movie. It's called Foxcatcher. It stars Steve Carell and Channing Tatum. Steve Carell plays the true story of John DuPont, who suffered from paranoid schizophrenia and killed Olympic wrestler David Schultz, who's played by Channing Tatum. That seems like an interesting combination.
It was a great hour-long special on A&E once, so as a movie, it should be even better.
And that seems like a pretty dramatic turn for Steve Carell. That might bring him to his first Oscar nomination. We'll see.
Another new release this week is called What's Your Number? It's a raunchy romantic comedy starring Anna Faris, who, for one reason or another, decides to go back and touch base with all of her ex-boyfriends. On paper, it sounds like it could be a funny female twist on High Fidelity, the great John Cusack movie. But in reality, it's nothing like that at all. Another new release on a completely different note is a Chinese historical epic called 1911. Spearheaded by and co-starring Jackie Chan. Now, the last few years, it seems like every couple of years, there's a big, huge epic film from China about their history. There was Red Cliff. There was recently the Ip Man trilogy, which will soon be 4, as another Ip Man movie is coming out in February. And now there is 1911. It's a blend of history, costumes, and kung fu. And you should definitely swing by Go Video and check it out.
If you have any questions about any of the movies that we talk about tonight, please email us at govideogainesville@gmail.com or check out our website at govideogainesville.com.
or this morning, even, because it's totally is at night right now. Right. Isn't it like 8:35, I think? All right. So moving right along, coming out in the theaters this Friday, Beauty and the Beast in 3D. Disney is going back through their vaults, pillaging all their old movies and re-releasing them in 3D. They had tremendous success with The Lion King. Beauty and the Beast is now, and in a couple of months, I imagine we would see Aladdin, possibly The Little Mermaid.
They're actually doing a combination of The Little Mermaid and Finding Nemo at the same time. A little aquatic theme going on for that 3D experience.
Interesting. I had not heard about that. Contraband is a new action thriller starring Marky Mark Wahlberg as a retired smuggler who's drawn back into the game to save his troubled brother from the mafia or the triads or the Tong or the Russians. One of those. It's always one of those.
It's a crime thriller starring Mark Wahlberg. Takes place in the Boston area. If that excites you at all, then you're probably also a fan of maybe Shooter. I think this movie's probably going to be just as good as Shooter. It's a first-time director. The cast looks amazing. It's got Giovanni Ribisi as the bad guy. That looks cool. He's
nice.
He's all tatted out with a big beard like he was in Gone in 60 Seconds, except he's a tough guy now. Kate Beckinsale plays the wife, the troubled Boston wife that so many other great actresses have played. Let's see, Ben Foster. I will follow him and watch almost anything he is in. J.K. Simmons and Diego Luna are also in this movie.
That's a tremendous cast, and I didn't want to let that point slide by. I'm also a huge Ben Foster fan. He's one of the great young actors out there. Doesn't get enough credit. Another one of the great young actors out there who we'll actually be talking about in a few minutes is for the Golden Globe nominations is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. His new movie this Friday is called Premium Rush. I don't know if you've seen the preview for this or not. This is the high-octane, adrenaline-fueled action movie about bike messengers in New York.
Now, this looks like a little bit like Phone Booth meets Enemy of the State. You know, he has a package. He's a bike messenger. The package is something that a dirty cop wants and is chasing him down. It seems very Tony Scott. I'm surprised he's not doing this movie. But the director-writer is David Coep. Also, it's notable that the dirty cop that's chasing him is Michael Shannon. So I do like the cast for this movie as well. Michael Shannon and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, both actors that I like and would go to a theater to see. David Coep, you may not recognize the name, but he is the screenwriter behind some of the best installments for the Spider-Man franchise, the Jurassic Park franchise, Indiana Jones, Men in Black, Mission Impossible. He's one of the
Stir of Echoes, Secret Window, or a couple of the movies that he did on his own that I'm big fans of. And I believe, but he does have a downside. I mean, he did write Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
So he's got a very impressive resume, but they're not all gems.
Well, in my opinion, he did the best Spider-Man. He did the best Jurassic Park. And I love those two movies. I will stand behind this guy as long as he's got those behind his belt. He's not particularly that great of a director, though. You know, at least from what we've seen. Ghost Town was his last movie.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais started in this romantic comedy about maybe a romantic comedy twist on The Sixth Sense, actually.
Indeed.
Yeah. It didn't work out too well for me. I thought The Invention of Lying was better. And then he also did Stir of Echoes and Secret Window. Who knows? You know, they could get Tony Scott for this movie. It's got a great cast. David Coep's a good writer. I would bet that this movie is probably better than the Mark Wahlberg Contraband film.
I would encourage everybody to watch the movie trailer. It actually looks surprisingly good. Now, there is one more release coming out this Friday, and for those of you driving to church right now, this would be particularly interesting to you. It's called Joyful Noise, and it stars Queen Latifah and Dolly Parton in a movie about a religious church choir getting a facelift from a young kid who teaches them to be contemporary so they could go win the big choir competition. I've heard it's funny, inspiring, uplifting, good for the whole family.
The writer-director's name is Todd Graff. He's he's famous for doing Band Slam, a music film starring Vanessa Hudgens from High School Musical. So if you're a fan of High School Musical or Band Slam, this would probably be the movie for you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back and discuss some Golden Globe acting nominations and give you our picks for the winners.
The new movie's out, I gotta see it. Where can I go when my pockets are tight? I don't wanna wait till it's delivered to my door, 'cause I know a place where I can get it tonight. Go, 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 video. You can get a movie for $1 a day, and only $2.50 for the new Blu-ray. Go, 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 video. And no memberships and no late fees, so you can watch your movie with incredible ease. Go, 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 video. Great selection and no more waiting. The only place to go in your current location.
Home to over 1,000 movies to choose from, Go Video is located in the Chevron on Millhopper and 43rd across from Publix on Hunter's Crossing. You can also visit our website at govideogainesville.com.